is Shah St. Louis, and I'm from the Cox Fitness Centers. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up our cycling bikes. So the very first thing that you want to do is make sure that the stem, the seat height, works for you, because you can actually make these bikes as comfortable as your road bike is if you have one. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to release the stem and allow the seat to fall all the way flush, all right? You're going to pull it, leave it open, you're going to pull the seat up, stand beside it, and allow this little silver part, you're going to line it up with your hip bone. When you find your hip bone, all right, you are going to lock this little yellow lever in, just like that, and there's a number on the outside of the stem so you can always set up your bike as easily as possible. All right, after you find your seat height, we're gonna get on the bike. We're gonna work with our seat in a second. So I like to straddle my bike so I don't hurt myself on the pedals. I'm gonna step on one pedal and then slide back on the seat. All right, so you know that you have the right height when you have a slight bend in your knee. So your knee shouldn't be, your leg shouldn't be completely locked out, and there shouldn't be too much of a bend, all right? That means your seat's too low. Okay, so you just have a little slight bend, and then you want to try it, see how comfortable that feels, and then you should know that you are at the right seat height. Okay, let's talk about the actual bike seat. So when you're on your bike, you should feel comfortable. There should be a slight bend in your elbow, you should be reaching for the handlebars, and the handlebars should be right up on you. So how do you know if you're at the right seat length between your handlebars and your seat? So when we get on our bike, I'm going to ask you to straddle it again, and you're going to bring your feet 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock right here, so they're parallel. So your knee should fall in the middle of your pedal, right around here, and it should be obviously behind your toe. So you shouldn't be reaching on this angle, and your knee shouldn't be over your toe. That means you're too close to the handlebars, okay? So when you find that, get back off of your seat, and again, this is the lever to release it, and this side has numbers as well. So mine is at 4.5. My seat stem is at 6. So I know when I come into this room, I can set my bike up, any bike I have, I set my seat at 4.5 and my stem at 6. Okay, what's next? Now, this bike is great because you can actually make it even more specific to your size, because the handlebars move back and forth, or fore and aft. That's what we call it in the bike world. So there's a lever here. You can really make it comfortable. If the seat is good, but you're like, I want just a little bit more room, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So I like my handlebars a certain way, so I have a slight bend in my elbow, and this is super comfortable for me. And if I want it a little bit further away, I can move the handlebars a little bit further away. If I want it a little bit closer, I can move them closer. And again, always have that slight bend in your elbow. You shouldn't be reaching while you're riding, and yet still you shouldn't be this close, okay? All right, feet are always going to be flat, like you're scraping mud off the bottom if you are not clipping in, and I'm also going to show you how to do that. But before I do that, these bikes also come with their own computers where you can know your distance, your RPM, and the time. And it's basically just hitting the start, the green button, twice. This yellow button here is for your stop, and it's an emergency stop button. All right, one last thing is, what about your handlebar height? This is very personal. I think more seasoned riders like their handlebars closer to their seat height, and new riders like their handlebars a little bit higher, because it takes a little bit of the pressure off their back, and they're able to kind of get used to the cycling position. And yeah, that's basically it. It should feel comfortable when you're on a bike. Now the seats do get a little, they take a little while to get comfortable, but they don't hurt. It just feels different because they are a different kind seat than you're probably used to. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about are bike shoes. So these bike shoes, the bike shoes that work with these pedals, they have SPD clips. You can get those on any bike shop. You can get them at Amazon, but you don't need bike shoes to ride these bikes. And again, you can get on your bike with your regular running shoes, turn this pedal over, and put your foot in the toe clips, and tighten up your toe clips so that your foot doesn't fall out. Now when you tighten up your toe clips, you don't want to push your toe all the way to the front. You want the ball of your foot in the middle of the pedal. Now if you don't have huge feet, that means that your foot is not going to be at the very front. And then you just tighten that clip and you're good to go. I'm going to put on my bike shoes very quickly and just show you. So these are mountain bike shoes, so they're not road bike shoes, so I can walk around with them. And I think the benefit of having a bike shoe is that these bike shoes, cycling shoes, have a very hard surface, so they do not bend. And it gives you, your foot, the ability to really distribute the power on the pedal, okay? And your foot doesn't hurt or cramp after. I find that when you have soft shoes, like regular running shoes, that can tend to happen. Like I said, bike shoes are very a solid surface, and it allows you to push and pull and distribute your power through your pedal. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about how you get your bike shoe on the clip very quickly. Again, you would straddle. Some people like to turn their pedal over as though they have on regular running shoes and just slide themselves on their seat. I think the most important thing is practice. So you want to put your foot on top of the clip, push your foot down, and stand on it. And basically, you're in, okay? Now to come out is another story. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you want to push your foot all the way down, and you want to kick your ankle out, okay? Again, it takes getting used to, but once you learn, you'll be good to go. So you just click your ankle out, and you're out, okay? And I'm sure the instructor or whoever's here can also help you with that. And that is it. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much.